Dayton is the #1 city in America of drug overdoses. Did any of you see that this past week? #1 city in America in drug overdoses. So 8 years ago, Pastor Dave Hood, and I began to walk the city, prayer walking the city. How do you change a city? I mean, this is what the mission of Jesus. Jesus read from Isaiah 61, and he said, this is what the people of this movement will be doing. They'll be renewing, restoring places long since devastated. So God gave us this strategy, and we started at Fort McKinley. We called it, you renew a city 15 blocks at a time. And we drew, this map is on the wall, these 15 blocks at Fort McKinley. So we started, the first thing we did was put 80 volunteers, you all. You can't do this by yourself. Why he sent them out as teams. We put 80 volunteers in Belhaven School. Now, Belhaven had the lowest third test scores in testing in Dayton Public School System, and Dayton Public School System is the lowest in Ohio. So what we did, 80 of you, what you did is you committed to being teachers' aides. We opened for the first time the computer lab there. That computers had never been out of the boxes because they laid off 19 staff. They had no one to do it. And in just 18 months, those kids' test scores went from the bottom third in the Dayton school district to the top third. This is called neighboring, sisters and brothers. Then what we did was we opened a clubhouse. Yes. We opened a clubhouse. The clubhouse is the program where teenagers tutor 4 days a week, elementary kids. It is the program where the first President Bush gave us the 838-point Light Award for our clubhouse programs. And when Clinton was president, he flew 3 of our people to the White House and named us one of the top volunteer organizations in the world, or in the country. That year. Then we opened a GED program. I found out 2 weeks ago that in that 15 blocks we've had over 360 people go through our GED program. Then we opened a Jobs for Life program, sisters and brothers, and then we connected, we networked and became part of finishing 30 brand new low-income houses in that 15-block area. Then we put in things like community gardens. We organized the community around community gardens. We put a Joshua Recovery House, a men's residential. What? Dayton is is the #1 city in drug overdoses. So right in that 15 blocks, we put a Joshua Recovery House. The men residents, they're here every Saturday night. Last night they invited me over for dinner, so I'm going over there for dinner. We now have 5 Joshua Recovery Houses in the Dayton area, but 1 in that 15 blocks. We just held our second kickball pizza tournament with the Dayton police to create better relationships between the community and the police. And last week we did a prayer walk through the community, and last year the Dayton government informed us that in just a 3-year period, crime rates have dropped over 80% in that neighborhood. It's why we cannot do this by ourselves. Every time we say yes to Jesus, every time we put money in an offering plate, sisters and brothers. So then we were informed by the Dayton government that the drug dealers and prostitutes have moved to the next neighborhood. So we're going to the next neighborhood. Right? You heard me say this before. We're going to drive them all the way to Cincinnati and let Cincinnati deal with it, and I'm there too. Right? So we opened right in the center of Trotwood, the Point in the shopping center. And we took control of management of the whole shopping center so we could make creative, helpful partnerships. One especially is with the YMCA. So a couple of months ago when a bar wanted to come in, no way, we're not in the liquor business, we're in the Holy Spirit business, sisters and brothers. And it is so exciting. I mean, just the other week we had kids' kites and cookout for the children in the neighborhood. 2 weeks ago, we did World Changer Sunday, where we invited in to honor all of the police officers, the emergency workers, and the mayor of Trotwood, and they all came, and we honored them on Sunday morning worship. And you talk about block parties. We have thrown mega block parties in a community that for over 20 years did not have an event or fireworks because they couldn't afford it. Man, when we talk about block parties, we've had 5,000 to 7,000 people at the block parties with the fireworks sisters and brothers. And then when you talk about the Tip City campus, salt and light. What is the purpose of salts? It is preservation. It is to add the seasoning, to add the flavor. Tip City campus, to just talk about what we have done just in Miami County with food pantries. Thousands of people who have come to saving faith in Jesus Christ. But the one I'm hearing most from outside our church is how we have impacted mental health in this county through New Creation Counseling Center. New Creation Counseling Center is one of the largest counseling centers in the country with 15 state licensed Christian counselors, and get this, 2 Christian psychiatrists. And here's what I'm hearing: our psychiatrists will not prescribe addictive drugs, and it's affecting how other doctors are making prescriptions in the area. Every year at all of our Tip City school campuses, we have a Teacher Appreciation Day where we provide the teachers with a free lunch and a gift. I just got this letter this week from the superintendent. I want to extend the most sincere thank you for the lovely luncheon that you provided to our entire Tip City school staff on May 3rd. The Chick-fil-A meal was delicious, the plant is so thoughtful, and your staff was gracious, kind, and engaging. Our employees were overwhelmed with the lovely lunch event. Your support and generosity over the years has been incredible, and your staff is simply top-notch. We are so fortunate to be your... Woo! This is God's strategy, neighboring, to change the world.